What's up, everybody? This your boy Chris Hubbard, man, known as C Hub.
What it do? It's your boy Aaron Green, aka Big Struggle. Welcome to our safe space. Let's get it.
Hey, it's a new day, bro. It's a new journey,
It
bro.
is.
Like I feel like this week, man, it's gonna be something special. I'm excited for who we have today, bro. Who we talking to today, bro? What
So, man, listen.
a surprise, bro. What's a surprise?
Right, this person, it's my dog, it's my brother. We in the trenches together every day, fighting the same fight. My brother Brandon Randall, welcome to the show, Brotherhood the Unveiling.
Hello.
Let's go.
I'm ready. What we gotta do? Let's go.
Yeah, what it do? What's up, Brandon? How you feeling?
I've been looking forward to this for about a month and a half now. I've been asking, like, when do I get to go on? When do I get to go on? I'm here, so let's go.
Y'all both my brothers, right?
Yeah.
And I talk to y'all a lot, so y'all know a lot about me. But you two motherfuckers is about to play two truths and a lie. All right? And we're gonna just see who knows AG. You know what
Let's
I'm saying?
go.
All right.
Hey, I'm with it, man. Let's get it.
You ready? All right.
Let's get it.
Middle initial R. I want more children. I have soul struggle made me in 8 countries.
If I get it wrong, are we gonna be mad?
If you get it wrong, I'm coming down the hall and it's going down. Like you know now.
Bruh, come on, bruh. Like, you
I
can't do it
feel
like that, right?
I know the lie. I feel like
All
I
right,
know
let's
it.
do it. Okay, what's the lie?
So I gotta go first?
Because yes. All right, go ahead. All right.
No. The guests go first. We let the guests go first.
I feel like the lie is your middle initial. Is that right? What?
Hub, your turn. What's the lie? Yeah.
I mean, well, if that's the lie, then I know what it is.
Go ahead.
So the lie, right?
What's the lie?
Okay, the want more kids.
Yeah, that's it.
I know you said something about the kids, bro.
So here's why I felt, first of all, we don't call each other by our middle names.
Fair enough.
Are we sure about the lie, though?
Hey, bro, don't play with me on here now. I
Are we
don't want no more
sure?
kids. I don't want no more kids.
Hey.
I'm good. I got enough kids in the community.
See, that wasn't a fair one because I feel like that is one that could change depending on the day.
Yeah, you're right. Or depending on the night.
Okay, so that's not fair. We gotta redo.
Redo. I don't have no. Nope.
Look,
That's it.
I'm telling you now. It might change suddenly. You just never know.
I mean,
I
if
I
might go dancing or something.
That wasn't a fair question.
If we being real, we both know you're married.
Yes.
And it just could up and change one day. Y'all, you know what I'm saying?
It could, but
well, you know, God got the final answer, so we'll let him figure out what's going on.
That's a fact.
You
Me
know.
and him can talk about that after this podcast.
Exactly. Talking to the big man.
I will. So, we're here. Who is Brandon Randall?
Great question.
Who is Brandon Randall?
Who that is?
Who am I? I'm just a guy from a little town in Missouri, just trying to do big things here in Indianapolis. I've worked with young people for 14 years, done everything from mentorship, working in juvenile justice, education, nonprofit. Just do what I can. Love my job, love working with my coworkers, but especially Aaron. Like, I wish, even though obviously I forgot his middle name, I don't think that people really grasp like the brotherhood that I have with AG. For me, I haven't always had straight male friends, right? And so for me and Aaron to be as close as we are, like, that is something that is very, very rare and very valuable, like, in my life. And I've only known Aaron for like 3.5, going on 4 years, but like, talk every day, have been able to connect in so many different ways. So like, for me in this work, you have to have that person that you vent to, that understands, like that gets it. And for me, AG is one of those people, if not the top person. It's been real. Like AG has been a really important person, like in my growth and development as a person in this field, but just also like learning friendship and building connections with other people. So
while we in this sentimental moment, man, like I want to ask you. I'm an
Aquarius. All I do is emotions.
Yeah. So check this out. I want to know what was one of the funniest moments between the two of y'all, man, and what stood out about it.
Now here's the funniest thing, and it has nothing to do with work. So I started watching Snowfall.
Shout out to Snowfall.
Shout out to Snowfall.
I started watching it, and I was calling Aaron every 30 minutes, like, bro, I cannot believe this happened. Like, what's gonna happen next?
Yeah.
And he was like, quit calling my phone. Just watch the show, and we'll talk about it later. And I'm steadily blowing him up like, I can't believe they died, or are they coming back to life? And he was like, get off my damn phone.
Nah, for sure.
Shout
out to Snowfall, man.
Snowfall is an amazing show, man.
And he binge watched it, so I was just excited when he got to these points. I'm like,
I binge watched
it. It's about to get good.
You know those moments about to happen, bro. So it's just like feeding off each other.
It was like 1 a.m. and I texted him. I was like, Aaron, oh my God. And he's like, what? Did somebody get hurt? Did one of our kids get arrested? I was like, bro, she got shot. And he's like, get off my line. What is you doing?
Hey, I was so mad because literally, like, we be having serious ass, like, we be getting calls at 3 a.m. So we called talking some fucking Snowfall. I'm like, bro, you cannot be doing that, bro. You know how our job is. Yeah.
Like, you up there after that. Your mind racing. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
But I was about to say, like, during this whole process, but what got you to being in this position now, with helping the kids, with the social, being a youth advocate? Like, what inspired you?
Yeah, so it's kind of funny because, before I got into this work, I worked in retail. Like, I was working at Kroger, I was working at Target, like ringing people up, cashier, all that. So when I had got fired from my last retail job, I applied for a job at the local detention center. Now, in my head, I thought I was about to go in there, be a counselor, save the world. We were going to, like, be best friends. And that's not what happened. And I'm not going to lie, my first year was kind of challenging because I was about 35 pounds lighter. My hair was dyed red. My eyebrows were arched to the gods. And so imagine, like, feminine presenting person working in this, boys unit at the juvenile center. And they were like, he got to go. This is too much. But after about a year, I really started like seeing like how the system worked because I had no understanding of it before that. And I just started seeing like, these kids as kids and not numbers, not charges. And then the thing that changed everything was I lost my first student in 2008. Mm-hmm. He was shot 15 times and died. And then the moment that I always talk about was I have 16 kids in the unit. They were all sitting down on the wall. We were about to go to the activity room. So this kid comes back from a visit and he is pissed. He is going off. He is cussing. He is aggressive in that moment. Now, back then, my mouth was way smarter and way more reckless than it is now.
Right.
So he gets on the unit. I'm like, hey, you need to stop all that. Like, we about to go. And he's like, I don't know who the hell you talking to. Like, I don't even care. You better ask why I'm here. And I'm like, bro, I don't care why you here. Like, shut up. We about to go. He steps up. Now, mind you, I'm 6'3". He was like 5'5", so he's a little fella. So he steps up, and I'm like, what? And he hit me in the chin. So he's really trying to rock me, right? So he's trying his best, and I'm holding him down. Well, I couldn't get to my radio to call like for assistance. So this other kid who was in my unit was 16 and was in there for a double homicide. He called help for me. Now, you don't do that. You don't help staff in a jail setting. And he did. And so he called help. They came down. They got the dude, took him to the isolation room. That kid that hit me wrote me a letter. It was 4 pages long. He explained to me that the visit he was at was actually his foster parents telling him, we no longer want you. So we're rescinding our custody, and you are now going back to being a ward of the state. I want to hit somebody in the mouth too. You got all of this complex trauma, and not in a single moment did a person ask this 16-year-old if he was okay. That letter changed everything. And so from that moment on, I started to see things through a more asset lens, empathetic lens. And I started questioning like policy and procedure and why are we treating these kids like shit when they are going through absolute hell, more hell than what most adults could even fathom they could deal with. It changes your life. And, you know, one of the last kids that I worked with, you know, I had a kid that I worked with in the detention center, and I saw him, he was, I think, 19, and he lived in the neighborhood that I live in. And he was like, Mr. Randall, I really, really need to talk to you. I said, okay. So I went and picked him up, brought him over to talk. Well, come to find out, he had a pistol on him and he had heroin on him. Now, in my head, I'm like, I've seen how this is going to play out. For me, this is not going to be well. I'm not going to do well in prison. And so I'm like, why do you have heroin on you? Like, what is the problem? And I was like, well, just give it to me and I'll flush it. He was like, that would be a really bad idea because then you going to get a knock on your door that you don't want.
Right.
2 weeks later, his ops kicked in his grandmother's door and killed him. And so it's like, you know, you got kids who are really trying to turn their life around, but their past absolutely refuses to let that happen.
Yeah.
And so, you know, in my head, when somebody asks me why I do this work, sometimes it can be emotionally overwhelming because I hear all of the names of the kids that I've lost. I hear their voices, I hear the last moment that I had with them, or I hear them, you have a collect call from Marion County Jail. Do you accept the charges? And that shit does not go away. And so I can't quit. Like I can't stop doing this work because these kids can't stop living.
I wouldn't have been able to make it this far in this shit without B. And I knew B was real because I learned more about like the history of racism and shit from B. You feel me? And it was like, damn, like it's real deal. He's stepping for these kids. I watched the interaction. And then I watched like B get a lot of pressure from like outside people. So the question, saying all that, the question's like, speak on the challenges of working with Black youth and being a white man, a gay white man.
When I said I have had 3 kids disrespect me, one of those kids, he was here about 2 years ago, and I will never forget, he got really mad at me and called me a fag to my face and like walked up on me, called me out my name, and then walked away. Do you know that the very next day he called to apologize and asked if I could take him to go get something to eat and take him to fill out an application? So you calling me out my name, but now you feel bad and you apologize.
Yeah, it's not cool. It's not cool.
It's not, but I wanted him to learn in that moment. Like, I'm not going to react. Like, if a grown man calls me out my name, now that's going to be a different story. And we're going to talk about the baby in a minute. If it's a kid, I want them to learn to do better. And it's not just, things that are related to the LGBT community. It's how are you treating women? Why are you calling every woman in your life a bitch or a hoe? Why? You're showing a lot of challenges with your own identity, not necessarily your sexuality, but your identity. If you are harping on women all the time and gays all the time, bro, you look suspect as hell.
So, speaking while we're on this topic, I'm pretty sure you know what the artist The Baby has said in the Rolling Loud concert.
You didn't show up today with HIV, AIDS, any of them deadly sexually transmitted diseases that'll make you die in 2-3 weeks. Put a cell phone light in the air. Lady, if your smell like water, put a cell phone light in the air. Fellas, lights up. Fellas, if you ain't sucking in the parking lot, put your cell phone lights in the air. Let's be real about this.
I feel like this on this topic, man. It was unnecessary.
Yeah.
What he had to say was unnecessary, and then it made me look twice at who he is as a person. Where's your common sense? Like, who are you really hanging around?
Where is your marketing team?
Where is your marketing team for you to like cut the mic, something?
Yeah.
So I want to know. We want to know. What was your initial response?
Of course I was irritated and was like what? Like, how did that even come up? Like, you got thousands and thousands of people in your audience, and they are here to see you perform. They are already hyped. They lit. They are ready. Like, let's go. And the thing that comes out your mouth is disrespecting people who are living with HIV and AIDS. And so that was like the worst part, right? So his level of misinformation on HIV and AIDS and then other STDs, like that is dangerous because he has such a big platform. How are you in your 20s? I'm assuming he's in his 20s. How do you not know that people been living with HIV for a long time? It's not like it used to be. Like, you take a pill a day and you good.
Yeah.
There's a thing as being undetectable. There's so many things that it made people wonder, like, what sparked that conversation? Like, because it was very specific. Like, how are you preparing for the largest concert probably of your career to date?
Yeah.
And the thing on your mind is folks with HIV and women and how they smell, and then dudes doing things in the parking lot. Why is that the combination of things that you're thinking of, instead of all this money being deposited into your bank account? And then, like, talking about the gays in the parking lot, like, bro, there should be so many more things on your mind right now. But so my challenge has been the response from other people. So a lot of people are really coming for the gay community because the baby has been canceled from so much. And so a lot of people are like, well, that just shows, that the gay community has so much power, when they get offended, but, he's not getting canceled when he's talking about women or he's talking about destroying the Black community. And I'm like, then why are you not canceling him? Why are you mad at the gays, which is an intersectional community made up of people of color, people of the global majority who are Black people? There are Black LGBT people. So I'm like, why are you upset that this community is standing up and standing on their shit? Like, you're not going to come for us and think you're going to get away with that. But you're not holding him accountable yourself. Primarily straight men, like, they are all over social media talking about, we need to cancel the LGBT community. No, what you need to do is have higher standards and hold these artists, hold their the marketing teams, these music labels, these radio stations, hold them accountable and quit coming after the gays because we did that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And I think that's the misinterpretation of what's going on, because you're not educated enough to say these things and act like you're gonna get away with it, because there's gonna be some kind of backlash along the lines. You know what I'm saying? So,
but for anybody, for fucking anybody, I can't go to work. I can't go to work and say whatever I want to say and not expect something to happen. So why in the hell do you think you could just have a weird ass, random ass rant? Like, you thought you was just gonna be able to say whatever you wanted to and it'd be okay.
The problem is, like, it's a double standard. So, like, when WAP came out, folks lost their mind because it was women owning some sexuality. Lil Nas, anything he does outside of Old Town Road is like, somebody was like, he's demonic and he's a Satan worshiper. I'm like, no, he is a troll and he is very good at it. But I'm like, y'all mad about these songs, but Throw Baby is on the radio every 5 seconds. So y'all not mad about Throw Baby or all of this other nonsense. But when you hear women owning their sexuality or a very visible Black gay artist, then you are beyond yourself. And now it's people coming from the family and traditional values. Where were you at when folks were talking about
all that shit?
That's back in the day. All of it.
Come on,
all
now,
of it, man. Like, y'all get it together.
I had somebody say something about I don't want my son to see that because I don't want him to be gay. I was like, bro, that's not how this shit works. Are you stupid or are you dumb? Like, that's not how it works. And motherfucker, you don't say nothing about all the music we listen to. Now all of a sudden it influences, because if that was the case, your kids shouldn't listen to no artist.
Nothing.
And because everything in rap is kill somebody, shoot somebody. All the Chicago rap is fuck your dead ops. Let's smoke on them. We come and get back gang, back door. You know what I'm saying?
All of it, like, bro. Smoking on Pukalope type stuff.
All that, all of that. Yeah. So
and I'm glad that you brought that up, because I don't want it to make it seem like that it's just rap music. It's not.
No, for sure.
It's all mediums of entertainment, like whether it's music, movies, whatever it is. Now, people do place a lot of focus on rap music, but it's like it's not just rap music. It's entertainment in general. Like, the overwhelming majority of movies are straight-centered movies and white straight-centered movies.
Right.
And even like, so you have people who are breaking down, gender norms and social norms and cultural norms. And I get it. That can be hard for some people. But it's like, but don't be a hypocrite. Like, don't pick and choose what you're mad about. I mean, we see that in religion all the time. People always say, well, homosexuality is an abomination. It so saith the Lord. Okay, well, it also says shrimp is an abomination, but I don't see you quoting Jesus when you at the trap buying you a whole platter. So don't pick and choose. Like, be consistent with it. Don't wear mixed fabrics. Don't have sex with your wife when she on her period. Like, all these things are in the Bible, but you're mad about a gay. I've been gay a long time, and I don't know what this agenda is. I haven't tried to convert nobody. Folks just want to live, and there are so many people who are just mad about me wanting to exist in this world. Folks come up to this job and ask, how do you have a gay white man leading efforts for young Black males? Why are you mad, sir? Why? Where you at?
That's true.
Where you at in the community?
Yeah.
Because we heard what you're doing.
Right.
And if that is what the role model is supposed to look like, you can keep the role model status. I don't want it. I don't have no rumors about Brandon Randall. My reputation is spotless. I've been doing this for 14 years, and you are not going to hear nothing bad about me in the community, except for I got a smart ass mouth. That's it.
I'm about to say,
I got a smart ass mouth.
Brady be going hard on their ass, but you're
not gonna hear that I'm buying drugs for kids.
Right.
You're not going to hear
None
that
of
I'm
that.
smoking weed with kids. You're not going to hear none of that. And even when people try to come for me, I still try to keep it in my lane because I don't want to affect voices. I don't want to affect my reputation. And I ain't got to say shit. My reputation speaks for itself.
Mhm.
And so it's like, you know,
Drop the
while
mic.
There it is.
while other people are worried about what gay folks are doing, I know what I'm doing, and I'm doing everything I can to help young people in this community. Period.
That's
That's
it.
what I'm talking about.
That's real.
My dog gonna put
Words of the wise.
Yeah, my dog gonna put it out there every time now.
Every time.
My dog gonna put it out there every time.
You let it be known, man. Let it be
You're
known.
right.
Set in stone too.
Yeah.
You know?
So we talked about that.
Yeah.
Now, so don't get it twisted. Brandon stepped on a lot of different subjects. So, Brandon, talk about white privilege.
A lot of people do not want to be uncomfortable. Primarily white people, specifically white males. And so, you know, when I'm working in these spaces, you know, I tell people all the time, I have to be a very vocal person that white privilege is real, because I am working in communities where basically, like, I'm being let in, right? Because if there are so many people who have every right not to trust white people in their community, because white people bring a lot of foolishness. White people bring, you know, imprisonment and destruction. And so every time I'm able to work with a young Black man or a Hispanic man or whoever, and there is like this relationship built, I feel privileged and humbled that that's even allowed to happen, because if somebody didn't trust me to do that, I don't blame them. So telling people in this system that they have to do better on understanding privilege, how racism is even defined, because a lot of people still are under the assumption that racism is a two-way street. It's not. People of color cannot be racist. And that is because the way that racism is defined in a sociological way is racial prejudice plus institutional power. In this country, people of color do not have that level of systemic power. When we look at who is in control of the House of Representatives and the Senate at the national level and local levels, our city councils, our policymakers, our police forces, it is not equitable, like at all by any measure. And so, you know, a lot of people don't like to hear that a Black person cannot be racist. And the first thing that they'll say is, well, that's not true. I've been treated differently because I'm white. That's not racism. That is simply discrimination, maybe bias, maybe a little prejudice. But there's no systemic power in that. I always ask people who tell me that, you know, that's not true. I'm like, well, tell me about a time where a law was specifically written to keep white people out of a neighborhood. I'll wait. Tell me about a time where white people were told you can only live in this little part of your community, and we're going to take the rest of your land and make it ours. Or, you know, when was there a time where white people weren't allowed equitable access to jobs, healthcare, education, legal, food, hospitality, mental health, and healthcare services? Tell me when. When has it ever happened?
Never happened.
The answer is never.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, so if white people have never been on the recipient's end of oppression, then miss me with the two-way street bullshit narrative. It's not possible. Yes, you can hate me for being white, and you can treat me differently because I am white, but you're not restricting my access to anything. I'm still going to have access to everything that I need because I'm not oppressed. And here's an additional layer. white LGBT members, we are sometimes the worst because we're like, oh wait, I'm a gay, I'm oppressed. We're on the same level. High five for oppression. But it's not the same. Like, yes, as a gay person, I have had, we haven't always been able to adopt kids. We haven't always been able to get equitable resources, but it is nowhere at the level of Black folks in general. But if you really want to look at layers of oppression, in this country, Black trans women are the most oppressed demographic. They have the shortest life expectancy, and they have the highest rates of unsolved homicides because people do not respect women in general. People do not respect Black women in general. So people really don't respect Black trans women.
So B, where can people follow you? Where can they be updated? Where can they get educated if they have any questions or whatever? Where can the racist Fox 59 people go so we can get on their ass daily? You're right. Pull up on me.
I mean, I primarily use Facebook, so people can find me at Brandon Randall. I really am not on the other ones very often. If I'm on Instagram, it's because I'm putting pictures of these kids doing great things, or my niece Lola. But Facebook, follow me for all my rants and updates. Or if they want to talk more, they can follow my email address, brandall@voicescorp.org.
Let's get it.
There you go.
Brandon,
there you go. Shout out to B, man. Shout out to you, man.
Shout out to B. Thank you for coming in our safe space and being vulnerable and blessing us. That's a lot of education, information. Big stepper, big speaker. Drop the mic on their ass. That's what we gonna do. Love, brother. I'm glad it meant a lot. And it meant a lot for me to have both my brothers in the same space.
Absolutely.
Just talking about some real shit. So thanks, bro. For real. We appreciate you, brother.
Can't wait to come back.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And
Brotherhood the Unveiling. Let's get it.